It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Doro Pesh, the love of my life with Hellraiser. And this is Neeley back from a week away in the Big Easy, New Orleans. And speaking of Hellraisers, my good friend Chris Aiken is back with us as well. Welcome back, Chris.
Well, I didn't go anywhere last week. I was here.
Well, you're back on the new show.
Yeah, I'm back on the real show.
Right.
Last week, Anomaly, fake show. 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, fake show. This is the real shit, right?
Right. Well, I noticed that while I was away, and I'm right out the gate, I noticed while I was away that you had made the announcement on the Facebooks that the CMS 24/7 stream is switching over to the uncontrolled noise streams.
That is correct. It was a big decision, actually. I mean, for me, it was a difficult decision, and I mean, it was one that you and I have talked. We've been talking about this for almost a year now.
Not quite a year, but in the last 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. It's not like we're like, we're sick of this shit and we're done. You know, it was something that I've been. The truth of the matter is I'm running out of time to do.
Right.
You know, and you don't really have time to deal with it either. And it really wasn't paying us any dividends to do it. So it was like, all right, if we got to start cutting things, let's start with that one,
Right. And the thing is that there's so much streaming media out there that, the CMS radio network could never compete with all the Pandoras and the Spotifys and the Spreakers and the iTunes and, on and on and on. There's just way too much competition out there, and it's just time to let somebody who has a passion for doing streaming radio take over. And the CMS is not going anywhere. The Classic Metal Show, the show is not going anywhere.
Did you notice how many people, though, were like, oh, my God, are you guys quitting?
Yeah, well, that's where I was going to go when you said the real show is back, et cetera, that how many people were upset when they thought that you were making an announcement the Classic Metal Show was going away.
Yeah, no, we're not going anywhere.
Right.
We're more popular than we've ever been before. There's no chance that we're ending this right now.
Exactly. So, no, the Classic Metal Show is not going anywhere. The CMS radio network has basically, we have just relinquished our streams or our audience, what the few that we have through the week, over to our good friends Uncontrolled Noise. The CMS radio network page is still active, will continue to be active. It's just when you click the little listen buttons, they'll be directed to Uncontrolled Noise.
Right. I mean, and for those that haven't listened to Uncontrolled Noise, it's such a pro station. You've listened to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like, even like, to be fair, it's way more professional than we ever did with the CMS radio network.
Right.
It's just like a real station. It sounds like a radio station, which is cool.
Yeah.
And and they've got a bunch of other shows outside of us. Eddie Trunk's show is over there, and Full Metal Jackie and Tour Bus, and all the competing shows that are of the same ilk, I guess, as what we do. And, Corey over there has been very cool about making us sort of the flagship of his whole station, which, I think is very cool considering how adult we are.
Right.
But it's good. And to be honest, it's just time.
Yeah.
It's just time for us to, it's time for us to focus on what we need to focus on, which is the CMS radio net, or the Classic Metal Show, and not, other shows and other, loading up music and all that other shit. It's just time for us not to waste our time with that anymore.
Right. Well, as far as the legacy of the Classic Metal Show radio network is concerned, I'm happy to look back at our legacy and the people that we helped launch their shows. We helped Red and Jerry. We helped the Metal Lessons guy. We were influential in helping Hairball John.
Metal Madman.
We helped all those guys get their toehold in, and kind of help them, direct them a little bit, and they went on from there with their own successes.
Yeah, exactly. And Metal Madman is still going and going strong. I mean, he can't wait to tell you that his chat room is full every Wednesday, and and that's cool. And and all the shows,
Ron Keel.
Ron Keel, we helped. One of the cool things with Red and Jerry was I kind of, when Corey and I started figuring out how we were going to do the changeover of the station, that was like the first thing that I said. And you want to talk about loyalty. First thing I asked him was, can I bring Red and Jerry along with us to be our opener, as they've been pretty much almost the entire time that they've been on.
Right.
It's been at least 5 of the last 6 years that they've been like right in front of us, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just like that, they're going to stay. So it's really going to be the same listening experience for those of you that only listen to the live show.
Sure.
You can catch Red and Jerry right before us. So it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. So it all worked out. I'm glad you were able to swing the deal. I want to thank Corey for, allowing us to, use their station as our station.
Really? So that's really all that changes is where you broadcast to. I mean, That's in our world, that's all that changes.
Right. So anyway, glad to see that happening, and it's going to work out for everybody involved. And then, it's on to bigger and better things. And speaking of on to bigger and better things, I am back here to bigger and better things than what I did last week.
What, you didn't have fun in New Orleans?
No, I did. I had a great time in New Orleans. Obviously, I called into the show last Saturday en route to New Orleans,
right.
And that was quite the spectacle. As I had, not to rehash the whole thing, but last Friday, some guy set the central control tower, or the relay station, on fire.
Right.
For air traffic control in the Chicago area, and it's screwed things up so bad that they had to literally cancel thousands of flights.
Right.
And, unfortunately, mine was one of them. And the flight that we did get took us to Atlanta, and it dropped us off.
Nice.
With the promise that it was going to go on to New Orleans, but that was a total lie. Total lie.
And is there anything you can do about that? Could you sue them for that or something?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I've never flown Southwest before. Obviously their claim to fame is that they're the cheap airline, and you can fly very inexpensive, and with maximizing their flights with full cabins, and not flying unnecessarily with half flights.
Right.
They save a lot of money.
Right.
And when we left Chicago after a 6-hour wait, they told us it was going to just stop in Atlanta, bounce right over to New Orleans. We'd be there. And when we got to Atlanta, they told us, don't know what you're talking about. So they told us in Atlanta, somebody.
Yeah.
I said, well, who makes those decisions? Well, somebody in Chicago dropped the ball, and they were well aware that this flight would not continue to New Orleans, even before it left the ground in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, guess what, fucky? You're standing behind the desk that has the word Southwest behind it, so it's your problem now.
Right.
Fixed.
Right. So it's just like, well, can you get us on another airline? Well, we don't work with any other airlines.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So we have a flight to New Orleans on Tuesday. That's what they told us. Our next flight to New Orleans is Tuesday.
How did you not punch somebody in the mouth at this point?
Well, these people that work behind the counter, they're not responsible. They don't know anything.
That doesn't matter, though.
But it's just like punching Ronald McDonald if you get a bad cheeseburger.
Which I would.
Well, anyway, we weren't the only ones who were stranded. There were several, well, I should say probably a dozen people that were stranded, and they carted them all away, giving them hotel vouchers to wait it out, and we basically stood there and we were very indignant about it because I had to be at this trade show by Sunday.
Right.
And after everybody cleared out, they looked to the left, looked to the right, and go, here, and gave us 2 boarding passes and said, and if you see any of those other people, act sad that you didn't get a flight either. So somehow, some way, they came up with 2 boarding passes on their partner airline, AirTran.
Okay, is that like one of those little planes?
No. It's AirTran. It's just another airline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like Southwest. It's just AirTran. They just partnered with them.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like JetBlue and Delta partnering or something, something like that.
I can just see the new Southwest commercials now, where you might get where you're trying.
Yeah, you might get there.
We might get there.
Well, we might stop and drop you off and say, "Good luck, fucky."
What kind of fucking asshole fucking airplane company drops you off in a strange city?
Yeah,
with no chance of getting where you're supposed to go.
Well, basically, it was explained to us because of the havoc in Chicago, because this air traffic control center sent the information to both O'Hare, Midway, and Rockford.
Okay.
They were just trying to get people out of the Chicago area.
Why don't they just close the airport?
Well, they did. They did for 48 hours.
Yeah, well, obviously they weren't ready to open up.
Yeah, well, they were able to restore some, flight traffic, and,
who knows if any of them got to where they were.
That's true as well.
That just means they put you on a plane somewhere and said, here, fucking go.
Yeah, go. And then the funny thing is that the ticket agent in Atlanta said, well, we could get you on a plane back to Chicago if you'd like.
Gee, thanks a lot. That's where I left you, fucking asshole.
Right. So they hooked us up with a hotel overnight, and the plane to New Orleans left out at 8:30 Sunday morning.
Okay.
So got a free hotel and a free breakfast and shuttle ride to and from the airport, and then we were in New Orleans by 9:30 in the morning, which was just fine.
No, but so you weren't late to anything?
No. It's just that Sunday is the setup day.
Right.
And you have to have your booth set up by 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
And you probably didn't even get to where you had to be till like 10:30, 11, right?
Well, we had one of our company guys who had gotten in there, and he got the rental car already, picked us up at the airport, dropped us off at the hotel to check in. They went on to the convention center. Since I didn't have my bag with me, and I didn't have any clothes, and I didn't have any toothbrush or nothing.
Right.
I stayed at the hotel and took a shower and cleaned up, and then I walked over to the convention center because it was that close.
Okay, well that's good at least.
So So anyway, overall though, the festivities after the trade show were, a lot of fun because lots of bars, lots of restaurants, Bourbon Street, the whole
lots of booty.
Oh, yes.
Man, you were just texting me pictures of girls and you in the clubs. I was like, look at fucking Neeley go.
Yeah, there's lots of chicks down there. Did you like that dark-haired cutie I sent the picture of?
Yeah, I'd have hit that.
Yeah.
Did you hit that?
No, come on.
God.
She was working.
Yeah, but she would have ended working.
Her name was Sherry. She was French.
Yeah, she's a little hottie, man.
Yeah, she was a hottie. She was really nice too.
I'll bet.
Yeah, she was real nice. So
nice wrapped around your cock.
She was very friendly, as you could tell in the picture.
Was she married or single?
No, she was single, 37 years old.
Now wait a minute. You got a girl. Let's just call this the way this is. Let's paint the whole picture. You're in a strange city. You've got this girl quite literally in the photo you sent me, sitting in your lap.
Yes.
You're leaving the next day, and she's single.
Right.
And you said, have a nice time.
No, I said, I'm coming back here for you.
Yeah, but you should have come back at 2 a.m.
Right.
Picked her up, said, hey, my hotel's over here.
Sure. Well, unfortunately, I had to share a room, so.
Fucking throw that dude in the hallway.
Right. Get out. I'm bringing this French girl back.
Your answer should have been, hey, fucky, go get your own bitch.
Right.
I'm here now.
Exactly.
That or get another room.
Sure.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Well, the cheap company I work for makes you share rooms.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a good time. And then, of course, the food was awesome. Went out and had some jambalaya a couple nights in the week.
That's always good.
And Sunday afternoon, after we had done the setup, we went to a little bar over there called Kubi's. It's kind of a sports bar, and had wings and pizza and beer and wine, and just had a very festive time.
Sure. Well, that sounds great.
Yeah. And then went to sports bar on Sunday called Happy's. It was an Irish pub.
Okay.
And the chicks were just hot as hell in there.
Right.
And they were dressed very, very tight.
Nice.
They had little short shorts on and just as tight as could be.
Makes Hooters look like a grand.
Oh,
right?
it absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't you just love that when you go to another city that's different than a regular city, and you just kind of you realize just how important pussy is to a fucking especially New Orleans.
Right.
New Orleans should be called Pussy Town.
Right.
It really Pussy Town or Titty Town.
Sure.
God damn. How many naked tits did you see?
A few.
I was gonna say
a few. I mean, it's like 80-degree weather at 10 o'clock at night, and the streets are just packed, and people are just milling around and just being nutty, and they close off Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Every night of the week. Mm-hmm. So you can drive a car on the little cross streets, but the actual Bourbon Street is blocked off at each intersection. So you basically each block is blocked off, so you can walk in the streets and walk on the sidewalks and just carry on like a nut.
Right.
So then we headed all the way down to the far end of Bourbon Street. There's a bar down there, which is the oldest bar in the country.
Yeah, you sent me the sign.
Yeah, Lafitte's.
Looked like it was written from 1640 or something.
It was, absolutely. It's the oldest bar in the nation.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like there's a bartender that worked there for quite a while, and how people say this establishment is old. I mean, it's literally hundreds of years old, and it's got the original brick and mortar, and so on, and even the interior, what do you want to call it, roof,
right? The
beams and stuff, all that's original. So I asked him, I said, not that I'm up in the air as far as spirits and ghosts are concerned.
Okay.
But I asked him if there's, you see any ghosts in here? Because it's pretty interesting. And he's just like, oh, yeah. He says people take pictures in here, and it's just weird that there's these orbs in the pictures,
That's awesome.
And we went down to a far end of right on the I guess it would be the west end of the French Quarter.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you know about New Orleans, but as you know, it's below sea level.
Right. I've seen evidence of that.
Yeah. So they don't bury people because the coffins would come up out of the ground.
Sure.
So everything is in cement mausoleums. Okay. And it's just like one after another. It's just really weird. The graveyards down there.
Yeah.
Just real spooky.
Right.
And we went down there, and they got these high walls around them, these old brick walls, and they've got this razor wire on top. I guess they're afraid they're going to get out or something. But it's just crazy because there's these old stone mausoleums that go back hundreds of years. Awesome. And every one of them's got some kind of a weird cross on it, or Southern Cross on it, some weird markings and things like that. So it's kind of spooky.
That's awesome. Sounds fun to me.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's just cool to look at. Have you ever seen the movie Easy Rider?
Oh yeah, sure.
Do you remember they got to New Orleans and they were all getting high and they were in that graveyard?
Yeah.
That's where they filmed it, right there.
No kidding. I did not know that.
And they're all sitting on those mausoleums and sitting up on those stone stairs, and it's just kind of a weird vibe going on there.
You're so much more investigative than I am. When I went there for Mardi Gras. I never left Bourbon Street.
Yeah. Well, you gotta take in the flavor, man.
Well, I mean, when I traveled around the world, I did. And when I went to different places around the world, I definitely went and saw what was going on. But when I went to New Orleans, all I cared about was boobs.
Right.
I just wanted boobs.
Well, I was there from Sunday to Wednesday, so I had 3 days to basically do some investigating, and And everything is so localized that you can walk everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't need to take a cab. I mean, everything is within, say, 3 square miles. What you really want to see is within 3 square miles. So,
and that's the unique thing about that place is when you see it like on TV or whatever, it does look like it's a big place, and it's really not. It's small. It's small, like downtown Akron small.
Yeah, kind of like that.
It's no bigger. I think Akron is probably way more spread out, don't you think?
Yeah. So you can see all the cool shit down there, and it's just a cool hang. I like the environment. I like the weather. I mean, it's kind of steamy down there. It's very humid.
But it's all the better for girls to lose their tops to.
Exactly. But the thing I like about it is all the bars are open to the street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you could just walk in right off the sidewalk, right into the bar stool.
Right. And you could, I don't know if you could still do it or if it's just during Mardi Gras, but during Mardi Gras, you could grab a drink and leave.
Oh, yeah. You can walk on the streets with boobs and booze.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the best to me was that, we were dropping into different bars. Like, I don't know if you've been down there during Mardi Gras. But
no, I have not.
There's not a lot of movement. I mean, it really is tough to move around because there's so many people in there. But you can go just pop in, grab a drink, and pop back out and just kind of wander.
Right.
It's fantastic.
It is. And, yes, you can do that any time of the year.
That's awesome.
So people were definitely out on the street carrying their various concoctions and their hurricanes and all that kind of stuff. So
how many, and this, you have no way of knowing this, but I'm always curious. With a place that's as sexual as New Orleans, how many people do you think get pregnant every year by people that like you that just kind of come in for a weekend?
That's a good question. I don't know. I would think that now are you talking the people who live in the area or
the people that live there?
I would think that because they're used to the touristy thing, because it is a tourist city.
Yeah,
that wouldn't affect them. You know what I mean? I would think that they would be wise to the fact that this is a guy just passing through.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just seemed like I was seeing a lot of sex going on. Just a lot of fucking chicks right in the street sucking guys' dicks and stuff. I was like, holy smokes!
Right.
This rules.
Well, I like to drink some, vodka. If I do mixed drinks, is my drink of choice. But I had no vodka at all. I stuck 100% to wine the entire week.
Really?
Yep.
So you're mellow.
Yeah, I was just relaxing, enjoying.
Right. Were you with somebody? And I don't want to say who, unless it was somebody that people would know. But were you with somebody that was like cool?
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't
a regional sales guy from our Ohio office.
Okay, so it wasn't somebody that was like a
downer.
It wasn't somebody that's here from another country.
No, not at all.
No, okay.
Not at all. And he's the same way as me, and he goes, dude, the only reason I even considered coming here is because I knew it would be a lot of fun if I hung out with you.
Nice.
So that was the only reason.
That's totally fun.
Yep. But anyway, that was my 5-day excursion. I left out last Saturday morning and got back Wednesday, and I'm back, and here we are.
Well, glad you had fun. I haven't done shit since other than the show. I have done nothing but work.
Right.
I mean, quite literally 18, 19 hours a day. It's funny, I was texting back and forth with our friend Veronica yesterday, and I'm working on her website for her solo. She has a Benedictine website, and then she has a Veronica Freeman website.
Sure.
And I'm rebuilding the new Veronica Freeman site for her. So I sent her a link late, like 11:30 or something at night. And she texted me back something about, she's like, oh, after 12-hour workday, you're going to make me get up and get off the couch or something like that.
Right.
And I was like 12 hours, that's like a warm-up. I'm already at like 19.
Nice.
She's like, you suck. You just got to beat me at everything, don't you? It's like, yeah, well, there's some things I haven't beaten yet.
Right.
Not yet.
Well, speaking of our Veronica, she's on a list for women in rock and roll.
Yeah.
Vote Metalholics 2014 top women in metal.
Right.
So go over to Metalholic. It's spelled just like it sounds, metalholic.com, and look for the vote for your top female vocalist and give Veronica a vote.
Yeah, or just go to our Facebook and scroll back a couple days.
There you go. That too.
That's an easier way.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, she's in the running. Of course, she's
not going to win.
No, she's way back behind some like Lizzie Hale.
You know who's winning that fucking competition?
Who's that?
That fucking ridiculous Baby Metal.
No, they're not up there.
Yeah, they are. They have like 3,500 votes.
They're in the top?
They're the number one. They have 3,500. They have more votes than Lizzie Hale. They have more votes than Christina from Lacuna Coil. They're number one right now, Baby Metal.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
And they suck. Have you heard them
no,
yet?
I you know what? I think Joe Freelance had sent a link or two to for us to look at Baby Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. They're at 3,580 votes.
Yeah, they're winning.
They're at 21%.
Because a lot of these guys want to fuck a fucking 13-year-old China chick.
Is that what it is?
Gotta be. How else would they be getting all these votes?
Yeah. Lizzie Hale is currently at 8%, and Christina Scabia from Lacuna Coil is at 9%.
Yeah, and I mean they're the big two.
Yeah, and Baby Metal is beating their ass.
Beating them soundly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby Metal.
Yeah. Well, go over there and throw Veronica a vote.
Yeah, Veronica just doesn't want to get beat by some of these others that really shouldn't even be in the list.
Sure. I agree with that.
And I agree with Veronica, too. Let's get some votes for Veronica. Come on.
No kidding. Go over there and check it out.
Dude, she sent me some great photos.
Did she?
Holy smokes.
Nice.
There's this one photo. She's got her fingers in her mouth, and she's in like a Catholic schoolgirl thing with the big giant boobies ripping out of the shirt.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. If I had a way to project that on my ceiling, I'd never come out of the bed.
Nice. Well, dude, tonight on the Classic Metal Show, we've got Doro.
Yeah, speaking of girls that we could jerk to.
Right. She's going to be on the show tonight. We're going to be visiting with CMS Mikey here very shortly.
Yes, in a little while.
And we're going to have the returning guest, Ken Barr.
Yeah.
We had him on the show about 6 weeks ago, and he told some good stories about working on the road all these years as a tech.
Right.
And he's got a book out. What's the name of his book?
We Are the Road Crew.
We Are the Road Crew. Lemmy.
That's right.
And he's worked with Kiss and Stryper and,
Bangles.
Air Supply and the Bangles and on and on and on. The guy's worked with a lot of different groups, hard rock, soft rock, pop, you name it. He's done it. So we told him we'd like to have him come back on like once every 6 or so weeks and, regale us with a story or two that you normally wouldn't get to hear anywhere else. So
sure.
Ken Barr is going to join us.
That's right.
Then we got some various, news items that we'll sort through and bring you up to speed with what's going on in your classic metal world.
And we have a new show to introduce that you and I both agree might be the best show in the
Well, it's just a one-off so far.
Oh no, there's 3 episodes, and let me just read a tweet that just came in literally.
Okay.
Where did it go? Where is my mentions? It says, Chris Aiken 1, it's time for some black ass play.
Nice. Wow.
Yes, we have a new show that we love.
Wow.
I'm all in on this show.
Sure.
Filth Radio.
And the guy who hosts the show is a fan of the Classic Metal Show.
He is. I think he got his inspiration from us.
I think he did.
But now you listened to the same show I did.
Yes, I did.
He's dirtier than us.
Oh, way dirtier. but he's focused in on one specific topic, and he's a stream of consciousness guy.
Yeah, he's got some ideas.
He does, and just the detail that he goes into about anywhere from where they bought the shirts from or the shoes or where, what store that they shop at. And it'll make more sense when we get into it.
That is gonna, if for no other reason, and you know how people are, dude. They're like, oh, it's a fucking pre-record, we're not gonna listen, blah blah blah. If for no other reason, stick around to hear that.
Right, absolutely.
Because this shit is out of fucking control.
It is, absolutely. I
heard it and shared it with you, and both of us were like, oh my God.
Yeah, this guy's insane.
Yeah, it might be the best audio we've ever got for the show.
Right.
Don't you agree?
I don't know if it's the best, but it definitely tops, as far as the creativity and the ability to host a show solo.
Yeah.
That's the talent that this host has to just talk fluently nonstop for 20 minutes.
Amazing.
About one topic.
And be filthier than we could ever imagine.
Right.
Amazing.
It is. I agree.
I listened to it and literally had tears running down my face the first time I heard it. I was listening to it literally. I was in bed fucking around with the iPad, and I got the tweet and I was like, oh, let me check this out. And I checked it out and I just sat there laughing and tears running down my face. It's so funny.
Right.
So good.
It is good. All right. Well, we're gonna speak to Mikey.
Yes.
I haven't really had any contact with Mikey since we went to his graduation the 1st of June, and here we are into the first part of October already.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
Where did the summer go?
It's gone.
It is.
Although it's been nice lately. The weather's been fantastic.
Sure.
Not that I've had any chance to see any of it, but I've heard it's fantastic.
Right. All right. Well, since we were talking about our good friend Veronica earlier, I thought maybe we could play a Benedictum tune.
All right.
Got anything you'd like to hear?
Something crunchy from like Uncreation, just because we never go to that.
Yeah,
record.
I just had that pulled up here. I was trying to look through here. Let's play Misogyny.
All right, that works.
All right, let's play that. So anyway, we're going to bring our good friend CMS Mikey on. We're going to talk to him, catch up with him, see how things are going in the college world and his trek to be the new president.
Right.
And so anyway, here it is. This is Benedictum with Misogyny exclusively here
on your classic metal show.